We are back for the last one. The last one. I was going to say possibly. No. This is the last game of the day. It's going to be Domino versus Nativz, second place team, isolated right now versus Domino, who are sitting at seventh place. MTS, how are you feeling?
I'm
I know
feeling
you're
good, man.
hot. I know you're hot. I
Yeah,
know. I
actually,
know.
it's been going a lot better now. The sun is about to go down, actually, so a little more chilly. I mean, you see, I have my window open the entire broadcast. That's just what you need when it's too hot here. But I'm feeling good, man. I mean, I talked about the game, this one in particular, in the beginning of the
Mm.
broadcast, and this is like by far the most important one for me. Both of these teams desperately needs this dub. And I feel like they can clash kind of well into each other as well. So I mean, I'm feeling good, man. How are you feeling good as well?
I'm feeling it's hot in Berlin as well. Don't worry, it's actually way too hot for my taste. But
The game
yeah,
is.
I just thought you where you live would be always cold, and I'm disappointed. I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
disappointed.
we have like approximately like 3 or 4 days a year where it's hot. So
Oh,
imagine,
so only 3 or 4.
yeah,
I
pretty
might
much.
consider moving in there then. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for that information.
yeah, no worries.
Domino versus Natives. We've seen a lot of spam for Corkis. Corkis are coming back into the meta. It seems like they wake up a little bit earlier than usual, which is good for us and for our hearts, I would say. But still, it's a lot of Corkis.
Yeah, I mean this champion has been. I feel like it just consistently just gets. They just kind of blind pick it. They don't really care. It gets 2 items kind of for free. It doesn't really get punished by any pick that the enemies throw at them. And then, as you mentioned, I mean, we've seen so many big rockets hit and then kind of evaporates enemy health bars. So, I mean, yeah, looks like a good champion.
That's a good way to put it. It seems like a good champion. Okay.
A very
Okay.
boring one, but a fun one. I would like to see the Kassadin actually picked into it because this is one of the counters. But I mean, Kassadin just looks really garbage in the meta right now. And Corki, I mean, even though Kassadin gets 16, it's not like Corki is gonna be weak because of that, right? So
Yeah,
it's hard.
because for the Cassadin, it seems like you really need to get access to that level 11 at least. It's more about
Yeah,
the levels than the items themselves. Obviously, you need those items. But if you don't get access to levels, you're kind of ruined. And it seems like the core key goes online a little bit sooner than the level 11 of a Cassadin. It's not that level of online we saw in the previous game, where it's just completely destroy everyone with 2 missiles. But it seems like it gets online a little bit sooner.
yeah. And I mean, it must be fun to be playing mid as well, where you're playing against Ari and Volibear, and you're not getting punished at all in the early game, right? When you're playing this Corki, and then your team is kind of no one is really playing around you, but no one is really ganking you as well, so you're just farming for free. And yeah, I mean, honestly, man, every time this champion is in the meta, the mid lane that plays it looks like he's faker, but in reality, man, he's pressing R 2 times and then the whole team is gone. So I mean, is it really that skillful?
I mean, it is because you have to get to that point, I would say. You're a support player getting free elo, so you shouldn't talk about that.
Mm,
You've lost your way. You've lost your way. Okay,
okay,
you've
man.
lost your way to the helo. To the elo, as Domino and Natives are getting ready to jump into Champions Select. That's why we have a small bit of delay to follow these players for the last game of Division Two for today's Summer Split 2022. We remind yourselves. We remind you guys that we have Division One coming in tomorrow as well, where I would say one of the most spiciest days of the split, where JDXL completely undefeated are going to take on X7 for the second time this split. Remind you, they're undefeated. X7 at the middle of the pack. If they win this one, they just skyrocket into the top of the standings, what everybody believes they should be, but they have to defeat JDXL. Aside from that, we also have NLC Division 2 every single Thursday and every single Tuesday and Thursday. So don't skip any of those days. We finally jump into this Champion Select. Nativz 5-2, Domino at 3-4 at this point. Do we expect something special?
Uh, we just expect the kind of the typical things, right? We just come to expect the Cards ban, the Lilia ban as well. Actually, Lilia was open the whole draft. Last game was not picked at all, so I was a bit surprised to see that, considering every jungle I spoke to in Division 2 has been saying that these two champions, Lilia and the Cards, are really broken. Might see them in the final game of the day, who knows, but until then, looks like bot lane is the name of the game for all of these bans. Oh, the Lilia actually coming out as well, so This just speaks to me as well that Porcupine doesn't really play the Lilia, right? Because why would you just not first pick it if you have the blue side to your arsenal and you can just pick whatever champion you want that is open? This gives a bit more freedom to Natives as well to ban the side of Gwen, the Wukong, obviously. Gwen not being like as blind pickable anymore after the nerfs, but still kind of a good pick to become maybe the third pick, and then you ban two kind of prior picks that are good into the Gwen. But yeah, a lot of bans coming in. Obviously, they have 3 apiece. So let's see if the Wukong is gonna get taken out or the Karthus. I mean, who knows at this point?
Yeah, the Yumi has been banned constantly so far throughout the entire day, so obviously they're going to take it again. Wukong and Volibear. It's quite interesting to see that people are not looking into the Wukong, but one thing that has been 100% win rate, I believe, it is the Viego. So if you see it, might as well take it away. Division 1, people don't want to look to Viego as much, but now it's going to be the Wukong. You have available those S tier picks in the jungle.
Yeah.
Volibear and the Viego, but also Seraphine was kind of buffed, I would say. So it makes sense that you can pick it to the bot side. You can take it with the Sin as well. You have a lot of ideas with the Seraphine.
Yeah, I mean, this just gives Natives the option to pick the cards as well, right? Snille, he was the guy who said that these champions are broken. I'm not sure if that's changed with this last patch, but it could be something that they look to decide to lock in. The Gangplank, or the GP, rather, as you like to call it, gets locked in for Lundorf. Gonna be the blind pick. We've been seeing this champion pop off so many times. Looks like it's just kind of blind pickable. Honestly, it doesn't really have that many bad matchups. But speaking of the card, it's not gonna be seen, at least not on the 1-2 picks. And just the Gangplank and the Ezreal is two really solid pickups from Nativz. The only thing is that both of these champions doesn't really want to be proactive early game, so could look to see that Nativz just decide to scale on this one.
It could be a poke composition on the bot. Ashe could also be the one supporting, and the Seraphine could be the one farming. It could be the other way around. Also removing a little bit of movement speed. It's more than enough to justify this champion. If you want to play it only for the ultimates, it's more than enough as well, as it's going to be Domino taking this specific bot lane if Seraphine is not going to be flexed into the mid lane. Now that you know that the GP will be on the top side, might as well reply with something. There you go, the Atrix is going to be the reply to that one, but it seems like Yop is going to play from afar and farm from afar, which allows Lundorf to get some assistance. If we get the Olaf, that would be a good return. That would be a cool return. I would like to see Olaf back.
Yeah, that would be fun to see, right? I would assume that they were gonna at least lock something that is like kind of AP damage into the team, right? If they lock the Olaf, they have AD on almost every single role. With the mid lane pick obviously being left open, they could look to decide to do it, but I mean, Snille, he did say that Cardis is broken and Lilia is broken and all that, but he also just mentioned all in all that farming junglers are really overpowered right now and goes for the Idir. This guy's gonna run around and be really happy like a bear this game.
He has been picked more often. Even JDXL, I think, yeah, they brought in the Udyr. It worked for them because they have Dan, and Dan is one of those junglers that he's out of his mind on this split. But we've also seen Udyr fail completely because if you only farm, your lanes are going to need help and you're going to be replying, yeah, I'm farming a lot. Don't worry, guys. I got the lead versus the other jungler. I'm just popping off, as you say. And the lanes are saying, but we're dying. We need assistance. Like, no, I'm farming. I got this. And eventually everything is burning. We're like, wait, guys, I farmed. What are you guys doing? Why are you feeding? So,
yeah. And then,
but it's Snille. It's Snille. I trust Snille.
It is Snille. I mean, I trust him as well. I do like the point that you bring up, though, because he has the Gangplank and the Ezreal in his team this time around. So, not the type of champions that can help the jungler if he gets invaded. Also, not the type of champions that can just kind of hold on. They can hold on their own, but wouldn't be surprised if they need some sort of assistance in their lanes. And then Snille, as you mentioned, can you say, hey guys, I'm not going to help anyone. This is my game. I'm going to farm until 25 minutes, and then you will see me at the objectives. And yeah, if they this kind of says as well as Snille kind of trust his laners, even though they're playing Gangplank and the Ezreal, to just kind of hold on their own until he goes online, which is, honestly, I don't really know when Idir goes online. I guess it's just once he gets his first item, he gets to clear him faster, and he does just keep up his tempo and play for the objectives. It's just the normal, typical, boring farming jungler, as you would say.
The bans are coming in. Junglers are being the key point for Nativz on the other side. It's mostly about the supports and the control in the mid lane because really is a player that likes the Anivia, but it seems he's going to shift away a little bit. Gragas was buffed, and I was wondering when is Gragas appearing, but the idea is now the GP could go to the mid lane, or it could be the Gragas mid lane, or even Gragas support. So there's a lot of flexibility. We have someone chanting in the background, AP Gragas mid, AP Gragas mid. I wouldn't mind.
That has to be like the first time in so many years in that case that Gragas is played mid. Like, I guess we've been seeing this now when he's getting buffed, right? But I just remember the really old Gragas when you would just one-tap people with your Q and R combo. That was so much fun to watch. I remember watching Scara doing that a bunch of times. Sadly, we're not gonna get that Gragas today, but if you just get a Gragas mid, I'm gonna be super happy, man.
It's going to be left for the last pick and for the mid lane. Who's going to take this burden? Akali is different. They have a lot of melee minions in fight, which makes them a little bit more tanky than the usual, but it's an interesting composition. Instantly getting the Yasuo means Gragas is going to be the support unless we see something out of this world. But there you go. Both compositions are coming in hot. M-Test, guide me through this one because it seems like a really, really interesting and spicy one.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at Nativz comp right now, and I see they have so much AD damage. We talked about this, right? But Endure has, of course, like some AP damage, but not gonna be that like heavy damage dealer on the side of your team. And then I look at Domino's comp. They have so much synergy, I feel like. They have the Volibear that can kind of jump in, the Aatrox Akali as well, and then the Seraphine follows it up with the ulti, Ashe has the arrow as well. I really like what Domino has brought into the tables this time around. They have Prior lane on the bot side as well that they can play through. Mid lane not gonna be as such. The Akali doesn't really get Prior in the early game, but Volibear can really look to cover his bot lane in this early game. And I think if Domino get through the early game kind of chilling and maybe gets a couple of kills on the side of the Volibear, then he can look to snowball, but
it seems like it's Yoppa with clocks on the bot side. It could be Yoppa mid and Relay would go to the bots. They could switch it up inside of the game, but in terms of champions, it is Relay with the Ezreal and Yoppa with the Yasuo. And I was going to ask you this: they don't have a lot of CC to apply the knockup from Yasuo. Only Gragas has a body slam and his explosive cost to make sure that he can do it. But he's on the bot. Well, yeah. I guess they paired up.
This is looking to be a spicy last game of the day, Arshram. I think if the Yasuo Gragas this lane is super weak the first couple of levels, but once if you ever make a mistake against this lane and you have to like blow a flash or something, the Gragas and Yasuo just kind of takes over the lane and it's really hard to pressure if you mess up. So it's really on the Ashe and Seraphine this time around. I say that as Ashram catches a fly or something.
There was a mosquito ganking my lane and I was trying to ward it. So
that's nice. That's nice reflexes. But yeah, if Yasuo Gragas gets ahead in this lane early on, it's gonna be super rough for the Ashe and Seraphine to hold on. But on the other side, Ashe and Seraphine has the Volibear on their team, so I really hope that he decides to path through bot and try to punish this lane that is Yasuo Gragas. If they get scot-free to level 3 and level 6, it's gonna be a good night to Ashe and Seraphine, let me tell you that.
So Domino have to take control of the bot side. Meanwhile, it's going to be Nativz trying to pilot it into at least mid-game to get the Yasuo online as we jump into the last game of the day. Lethal tempo for both Ashe and Yasuo. It's not going to be a farming Seraphine. It's going to be a farming Ashe with the exhaust and ignite. No heal available. On the other side, it's cleanse and ignite going straight up for kill. Yeah. May I say so? If both teams fall behind, do you see one of them with less wave clear than they need to protect themselves?
I think so for sure, right? I mean, you look at Domino's, they have literally such bad wave clear in the side of Aatrox and Akali. I imagine that if they just get their hand on the Herald, some sort of, and they can just have the prio, as you mentioned, if they are ahead, it's really hard to stop it from Domino's. On the other side, if Domino's gets ahead, I think they are kind of fine in that regard. Domino's doesn't really have any siege tools. They have to dive with the side of Volibear, Akali, and Aatrox. I think they're kind of chilling on that regard. So they're kind of scared of Domino's, as you mentioned. If they do not decide, but if they do get behind early, I would be really surprised though if they do that, because I'm looking at the sort of gangplank, the Ezreal, Udyr. There is all 3 champions that wants to scale, And then we see the Ezreal starting the tier as well. So I really hope for Domino's sake they're not gonna get behind in the early game.
So far, they're pushing the bot side, at least keeping away Yoppin clocks from the waves to deny some sort of experience. And this is something we're going to keep watching through the entire game. The beatdown, the root from Zoophobias, you have to double it to get the root unless the target is slowed or already under CC. Hellman has slow imbued on his auto attacks or his W as well. So if Ashe touches anyway on the target, Seraphine can root it up. So that is a perfect combo.
Yeah, that is a really good synergy, right? Just really their kits just really blossoming well together. So let's have to see. Yoppa obviously gonna get zoned off here from a lot of creeps in the early game. When playing the Yasuo, he's not really useful level 1. Same for the Gragas. So really good pickup of Domino's to actually recognize that too and decide that, hey, this Yasuo is not gonna be allowed to farm at least anything from the side of in the first 3 waves. And now looking kind of the insane pride that they have, are they gonna look to invade on the side of Snille? Because then, let's face it, Nativz, they can't really help it on this blue buff and Grom.
And every single lane is suffering so far, aside from Lundorf on the top. Yasuo finally getting access to the line. 5 minions in. It's not what you want to as you're playing the Yasuo. Porcupine goes to the bot side, doesn't have the scuttle available yet. He's going to finally start it up as Zoophobias and Hellman keep pushing the bot side. You can't give some sort of window to Yoppa. But if you give those minions an agency to him, he's going to slice and he's going to die through you and Clocks will help.
Yeah, no, for sure, right? And now this bot phase kind of gonna slow push into the side of Domino's. This is good if Porcupine wants to look for some sort of gank on the side of Nativz. It's kind of what you have to do on Volibear, right? We talked about this time and time again. But now by the looks of it, it's gonna go back to his top side. It's gonna allow Nativz to push in his bot wave if possible and maybe get a free base. And this is just what you want as the Yasuo. You're fine being 5, 6, 7 creeps down in the early game. As long as you get that first base, you get your boots or you get some daggers, then you're for sure chilling. Oh, Snille though.
There's a cloud, this is a shuriken, and meanwhile there was a ghost wasted. Meanwhile, Porcupine already did the scuttle, and Snille doesn't have any sort of summon. The spell is going to collapse for the first blood of Viero. This was not on the plans as well on the bot side. Zoophobias now gets the engaged. The ignite is ticking, and the cleanse was already used. Clocks now is running away and is taking a little bit more time than he needs to as the barrel is there. Zoophobias would hit away. Yoppa doesn't pierce it! And all of a sudden, it's Ashe on the chase. She's getting the auto attack. He hits himself away, and the body slam is there. The belly is protecting, but Yoppa falls nonetheless as the channeling comes in through, and Clocks gets revenge. The body slam is there, but I don't think the cask is available. He's getting it in. Double kill for the belly man.
Oh my god, Clocks gets level 4, and that gets enough mana to slam into the side of Zoophobias and gets the double kill. Really crucial pickup there on the support of Nativz. I mean, looks so good there for Domino's, right? Seraphine actually surviving with single-digit HP. Yoppa is really gonna scratch his head out of that one, but I talked about this. Even though it was a 2-for-1 trade, Clocks got the double kill, right? Really good for him. Yoppa died, he lost some resources, but now the fact that Domino's doesn't have any summoners is really just so good for Nativz. They can look to really revisit that lane and play the 2v2 aggressive as they want to. Oof.
Let's watch this one, M-Test.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is just clean, right? The Clocks just sees the opportunity for the E-Flash, it goes for it instantly, forces the bow for the summoners, and now it's on the reach chase, right? I thought Seraphine was for sure making a mistake here, but Yoppa doesn't have the damage enough to kill him. It's 1 out off. I was so surprised that he didn't even have Q off. That is like 3 HP or something like this. That is really crazy. Yoppa also buying so much time after this, even though he was so deep. Hellman not having enough damage. Clocks is kind of whiffing away with his little fat man cask and gets a double kill out of that. I mean, it's actually super vital as well here that he realizes he just needs 1 more creep to get level 4. He gets the mana for it. Gets the double kill. Oof, yeah, that is questionable for Seraphine. I think he could have run there, but you know what? These teams are fighting, and I'm here to see it.
Okay. Can we click on Ezreal just to get some sort of information? I just want to make sure that okay. He's going AD because if you have the Ezreal mid, you're allowed to go for the AP. Where you can do this, you proc in the W, Arcane Shift, which makes auto target with the spell, and the damage you have as an AP Ezreal is ridiculous. It is
Oh,
ludicrous. I love Ezreal mid with first strike AP. You demolish anyone. On the other side, you have the Ashe, you have the Seraphine. You can one tap an enemy if you go AP Ezreal. The ratios are way too high. I'm talking about 90%, by the way.
wait, now I'm really curious. What do you build? Would you go Ludens? And
Ludens,
then
yeah, you Ludens. You can go for you can go then for Lichbane if you need to wave clear to make sure that your Q is still viable because Lichbane was buffed recently, so the cooldown is smaller, so you can definitely take it. But usually I go for Shadow Flame or even Rabadon's penetration on the boots as well. You try to get as much AP as you can in terms of numbers because of the ratio, and your ultimate at level 11 usually deals like 900 to 1100. Yeah,
huh.
it's
Okay, I mean,
it's it's if you get the full combo, you deal more than 2000 damage at level 11. So it's nothing to shy about.
hey,
It's really
Farcom
high.
says this, and I believe him. Maybe I will try to solo queue with this.
You
What about
shouldn't.
AP? What about AP Pantheon though? Is that something that could be
It was
decent
back
as
in the
well?
day.
With
The
when the
W
ult got.
has the 100% ratio. It's no longer viable.
Oh, we actually true. I remember that. I saw like Hex the Gunblade when that was a thing, and the AP
There's a
Pantheon when it
forbidden
was
build though, the on hit Pantheon.
on hit Pantheon.
Your W procs every single hit. And it's 4
Oh.
auto attack. So if you get Blade of the Ring King, that's 4 auto attack. So that's 4 times 12%.
Oh my god, that's
Only with the
actually.
Blade of the Ring King. If you bring Titanic Hydra as well, you get the proc for every single one in front of you. The you can bring whatever you want with Send as well. Kraken Slayer procs in the middle of the W. It's a forbidden build. I keep telling you, Pantheon is really flexible in terms of builds. Oh, there's the belly. There's the follow. Zoophobia is trying to protect himself. The knockup. Follow up.
Oh,
And that's the kill
really?
for Relay from the mid game from downtown. Meanwhile, Zero is alone in the Dragon Pit, and Snilly is not taking any of this. So he's going to secure himself the mountain. And it seemed like at the beginning of the game, it was Nativz falling off this pit, but it seems Domino are now the ones behind.
Yeah, I mean, they got a solid pickup there on Snille so early into the game. I thought they were gonna be able to snowball that into some camps, maybe some CS lead for other side of Porcupine. But after that double kill from Clocks on the boss, I felt like it's been all Natives kind of game. Essel just been chilling, just really farming it up and gets that kill as well. I mean, that's really honorable and reportable at the same time. It depends on who you are. If you're Yoppa, for sure you're gonna want that kill, right? But I mean, it's kind of a clean snipe from really. I respect that.
Tries to get the root, tries to get the clear vision. They need to secure vision because this is a match that you can't put yourself in jeopardy when you see Yasuo, Udyr, Gragas, and GP. And it seems like this Gragas is going to be more AP-ish than the normal one, the normal support we get to see. There you go, with Comet, Amplifying Tome, Boots of Lucidity, and instantly Elder with the ring as well, the Dark Seal. This is kind of dangerous. Talking about danger, Lundorf is in danger. He needs to dodge everything. Flashes away instantly, but the turret goes offline, and it seems the kills are online for Domino.
Yeah, I mean that's the sad part about playing against Volibear, right? You flash into the tower thinking that you're gonna be safe, but you're not. Oh, speaking of safe, though, Seraphine is not safe in this one.
Speaking about not being safe,
Oh!
Zoophobia now is afraid, but he gets the kill nonetheless. Clocks finally bonks the enemy, but I don't see Hellman with enough damage to fight this one.
No, I mean Clocks he's just collecting the kills, man. He's on 3-0 right now on this Gragas, and I just really respect the fact that you mentioned as well that he's gonna go for some sort of AP build. I would just love to see Ludens like legit just don't care. You got 3 kills already, just go for it, man. Or maybe I would assume it's gonna be probably something like Everfrost.
That
right?
would be cool, yeah.
Yeah, but
There's a combo for the Everfrost. Again, the Baus technology,
yeah.
where you can stack the barrel throughout the entire Everfrost, and that's max damage, so.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean,
It's
this
a
guy
good
is
build.
something else. Like, I love to see when he plays Gragas, like, it's just so fun. This guy is so good on this champion. I think it's even more fun to watch him when, even on Gragas than on Sion, because
Oh,
obviously
100%, yeah.
he's just popping off every single game I see this guy on Gragas, and he's just always. This guy's movement is something else as well. Now when we're at it as well, when he's playing these type of champions, he's not scared to like go for like all these crazy plays. I mean, that's why we love to watch him, right? Speaking
Hey,
of crazy,
Lundorf
though,
doesn't love to watch this. He's going to get ganked yet again. He was trying to get that clear vision, but he had no information of where the jungler was or the mid lane as well. Snille tried to take this fight, but it seems the Ezreal is kind of sleepy in the mid lane. He's not helping Snille. It's one of those, oh, you want to farm in the jungle, man? I'm gonna push in the mid.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of farming and pushing in mid, like I'm just looking at Riddler right now, it's 30 CS up on this Ezreal, and this just speaks why Nativz decided to put this Ezreal onto the mid lane and decide to get Yoppa to play this Yasuo on the bot side. Yoppa has been on the kind of on the sad end of these trades. He's been going down while Clocks has been getting all the kills, but I don't think he cares, man. He's just playing Yasuo Gragas, he's having the time of his life, and ooh, Clocks though. Oh,
He was not
close.
in range.
That was
Yoppa
close.
couldn't follow it.
Oof. Yeah, that could have been something else, man. They could have snowballed the game super hard by doing that. They're gonna force the flash out of Asher. It's not bad, but I mean, just look at the top side right now. You were mentioning how Domino's felt like they were kind of getting not outscaled, but Nativz was really pushing the envelope and like really stepping up in terms of proactivity. And this is what we'll have to see from Domino's, right? This is what we want to see them, why the teams that are able to kind of contest in the middle of the pack, they're able to play the early game good, then they have a solid game plan coming into the mid game as well. And now, I mean, this Lundorf, I think we saw him last time when I casted him. I think he was playing as Viggo Mopsen. He was playing GP as well, and he was playing into the Darius, and he was legit like 0-5 after 50 minutes or something. Like this guy was not having a good one. I think they still managed to win that game out somehow, but yeah, this time around as well, getting punished on this gangplank, not looking good for him.
That's exactly it. If you see Udyr, you know he's not going to be as relevant as the Volibear ganking, so you have to make pressure on those lanes. You have to make them bleed. And I guess he's going to bleed yet again. Porcupine looking for Lundorf. The flash is not available, and there's no orange that is going to save you from this one, my friend. You're going to get yeeted back into the terrain, and eventually you're going to meet death for the third time in a row. 6-4. Domino are actually winning this so far.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what he said, right? Snille can't really be the guy that is proactive and setting up his teammates, and Porcupine has been really good at doing this. Obviously, he's on a champ that is allowing him to do so, but he's 1-0-3 while being only like 2 camps down on the side of Udyr, and Snille obviously has that Drake under his belt, probably gonna wanna get the second one as well, but I don't feel like Udyr has been doing anything this game except for farming, but he's not been farming well as well. Like, I don't really understand what's going on with his pick.
He's on the same farm that the opponent,
Yeah.
and the opponent has been farming kills as well. So there's definitely something happening, because the second dragon is only being done now at 15 minutes in. And in this meta, the priority for the dragon is so high, but nobody is going for it on this game. It seems like Nativz, the team that could get second place today, is not on the same page, having some sort of issues right now. 6-4. Zero is smelling something. It's like, I smell a drink on those bushes, Gragas. I am not stepping in there.
Yeah, I mean, solid game knowledge there, right from Zero. Knows that he's for sure gonna get one tap if he goes up to that, and might even get caught here as well. I mean, you see really on the bot side as well. They're gonna be able to take this tower down. Oh, actually, they're gonna go
Tower
for
is
it.
down, knockup is there, Ignite is revealing, really is on the bot side as well. They're going for the kill, but the Hurricane doesn't connect with Akali. She's way too fast. That's a really good positioning from Zero, I would say. If that was me, that would be a Mutol already, because I would be feeding. So really good positioning coming in from Zero and keeping yourself alive. Now Domino having this opportunity to push the mid lane as well, but they need more, because look at the vision on the map. It belongs to Nativz.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, right? And while Zero really survived that gank, and he actually managed to buy so much time for his team, which they almost got the mid tower. It's kind of what you have to think about as well, right? Once you get the mid tower, it's gonna be so much easier for you to actually deny this vision that Nativz has on your bot side, and be able to create vision on your own. And this is looking to be kind of a spicy one looking so far, Ashram. I mean, I'm just looking at the Nativz comp. They have still like kind of double scaling on the side of Gangplank. They do. Even the Ezreal is looking super happy in this one so far. And I'm just thinking, Domino's has been doing good job at being proactive in the early game, but once again, we have to ask the question, is it gonna be enough to take down Nativz? Who has the insane scaling?
The scaling is there, and we talked about it. They need to be proactive in the early game. They did a good job. How can they transition that lead? That is my question to you, because they do have weapons to do it, but where can they start for?
I think for sure you have to look at Zero, right? This guy has I mean, he is really far, like a lot far down in terms of farm, but he's been picking up kills. He has the item now, and when you look at the side of Nativz, they don't really have that much like lockdown for the Akali, and Akali can really like maneuver these fights quite easily if she wishes. And if she can go to a side lane, they can kind of keep bashing Lundorf's skull into the pavement on the bot side. I think that's what kind of have to go for. They have to go for this kind of cross maps. Spooder has to be careful on the top side though when they're doing this. And I mean, it looks like exactly that's what they're gonna do. It's gonna be a diver probably coming in onto Lundorf.
That's why really is
Gets the
currently
wave,
at
though.
level 12. Lundorf is already aware. Nah, I died 3 times, guys.
Not more.
Have mercy, have mercy. Do I need to pay for premium version to have colors on my screen? I think it's
It's coming. The next version is the EA. You know, the DLCs. You have like 20 DLCs you have to buy.
I'm going to run from that conversation really fast now. Turret in the mid line is really low right now. They only need an additional push. This is going to open the map a little bit as Snil is going to be shot by the Seraphine. And that's smash after smash. And that's kill after kill. And that's Domino finally opening the map. They finally use the lead. But meanwhile on top lane, they start bleeding.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, they're just bleeding on both sides right now, and while they get the mid tower, which is obviously good for them, right? If you're bleeding this much on your silence, while Lundorf is like, this guy is just being completely starved. Volibear Porcupine is still on the bot side, and while now the side of Nativz, they're actually basing. This could look to Porcupine and Zero to actually make the dive happening. You see Lundorf has to back up once again. He's still saying, no more, I'm not gonna go 0-4, at least not in the upcoming minutes.
But the beauty part of this pick is you're the GP. Regardless of what happens, you can always apply your ultimate to everybody. If you build Execution to Sculling, that means that the Volibear, the Aatrox, the Akali, even the Seraphine heal is going to be in danger. So also the damage you can do with barrels at the late game. Oh, it's a GP, is really far behind, and out of a sudden, boom, there goes your leg, your liver, and your lung. So in the late game, GP is GP, as you say. I had to do it.
You're taking over. You're taking over the terms. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I love to see it. Yeah, the GP is having a rough time right now. But as you mentioned, once he gets 2 items, if he hits only 1 barrel on the side of Domino, so it's not the most mobile team, could be a disaster. But look, it's been a disaster though.
This is a disaster because the fed one is already on the ground. Is a body, and they're trying to get more of those bodies. It's going to be the carries going down way too soon. Clocks is hitting himself in the middle of the bushes, but I don't think Porcupine cares about that. Out of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, they use the TP, but they still lose the fight and the Dragon control.
Oh my god, super crucial fighter from Domino's. They managed to deny the sole point coming from Nativz. They get the clean fight that they so desperately wished for. As you mentioned, Lundorf TPing in that fight, but he's playing Gangplank, man. He has no really business of being in that spot, in that choke pit, in the pit, and he just gets collapsed on, really gets one-tapped as well, doesn't even have time to flash out. And is this gonna be another kill? Zero?
I think it is. I think it is. He should have flashed before the chain yeeted him back. He knew what was about to happen. 20 minutes in, the Baron appears in the map, and the Baron is confused because it seems Nativz are not even close to Domino right now. This could be the game that puts Domino in the table, back on track.
Yeah, I mean, super crucial fighter coming in from them, and look, this is gonna be another fight coming in. A TP comes in from Zero.
There's no knock-up though, which means Zero now has the perfect opportunity to shine on this Akali. Finally, they get the knock-up, but it's only on one. Udyr goes down, and Yoppa goes way too fast. The arrow goes by towards Howling Abyss, as at this point it's going to be Domino completely with the control of the game. This is menacing. They're going for the ban test.
Oh my god, they don't have a smite on the side of Nativz too. I mean, this could look just to be a free one, unless Rille has something really insane to say about this. Luno's gonna go up with the cannon brush really soon. Can Rille get a snipe off? Can he get the steal off? I don't think so, man.
2000 HP, the smite is going to deal so much damage. They have to bring the math. They try to do the steal, but they only get to see the objective going down, as Nativz are way too far behind. Domino building themselves up a lead. Nobody thought this would be possible today, but it seems Domino woke up on the right side of the bed.
I mean, for sure, Sarah having a complete pop-up of a game on this Akali, getting so many picks, getting so many kills, and Nativz they're just so confused that there has to be a pause in this one.
I think they're talking between themselves. Is this legal? Is this actually happening? Is our tactic of Yasuo bot with Gragas now working as intended? And this is something that I asked about with Torok. Oh, interesting. But this is something interesting that we talked and discussed with Torok throughout Division 1 when he brought in the Udyr. I was like, okay, you sold your soul, you lost my respect, but what is this? And he explained to me, I mean, I have the Corki, I have the late game. I just need this Udyr to just farm as fast as possible to make sure that we can get to that late game. But the thing is, he's aware that his team or the players are comfortable with playing without ganks. And
Yeah.
on this game, when you see a volley bear, you know those ganks are going to exist. So if you see a gank machine, you have to adapt to it. At least bring something that can fight it or bring a big lead in lanes. That's not happening. What can you do, M-Test, in the late game? Just slaps
Yeah.
you and goes away.
I mean, I think that's the thing, right? I think Sniller really banked on the fact that I think he thought that Dominos were not gonna be able to punish them as hard as they have been able to do. And once, if there is,
Wait, the game is going on. No?
yeah, is it not?
I
Looks like we're
think it
going
is.
back into the action right away.
Ooh.
And
Sneaky,
yeah,
sneaky.
good pickup there. I mean, that's the thing, right? You see Udyr, he's down in farm against the Volibear. He is
Yeah.
not gonna be scaling. If you're ahead of 100 CS at 25 minutes as Udyr into Volibear, you are so happy, right? Then you can actually do something.
Zero
now-
1v4. Does he have enough
gonna be okay.
capability? Uses the perfect ultimatum. Zero still using the shuriken flip, but it's not enough. He's going to use stasis, and he's buying enough time to do what? To allow his team to take the T2 from the top lane, to take the T2 from the mid lane, and to knock on the inhibitor's door. They won't be able to do it because the recalls are there. But in the end, they do get 2 objectives for the price of 1 body. As the 3rd pause in a row comes in clean. This is a triple kill in terms of pauses. I don't know if we get a quadra, but we're getting there. I'm going to start casting pauses, man.
Yeah, imagine we get a pentapause. Like that would be the
A
first one.
pentapause?
A pentapause, yeah, that would be the first one in esports
Have
history.
you
I think.
ever, M-Test, seen an Exa kill?
Actually, yes, but only with Katarina. That's like the only champion. And no, not in a competitive game. Wait.
Oh, good engage. It's going to be the Aatrox popping in on the stasis. He's still alive somehow. How can they do this? This is not legal.
Oh, I was gonna say the same. This is completely illegal. Spooder looks like he was just gonna get one tap at it, but they have so much healing. They have the Moonstone, they have the Gordrink as well with the Death Stance. And I mean, Lucas, look at the side of. It's literally only Clocks that has some sort of heal reduction. And when you're playing Gragas, you're not gonna be able to hit unless you hit like a 5-man ulti, right? Then you're not gonna be able to get that executions off onto every single target. I mean, once again, Domino's, sure, they invest the life of Zero on that bot side, but they get 2 towers of it, almost 3. They're gonna be happy with that one, and they're just really steadily increasing the lead that they have in this game, rather.
Yasuo needs that Infinity Edge. So far, it's nowhere in sight. I believe he needs at least 500 more gold. I don't know. I saw him farm a little bit of the lines, so I think he only needs 500 gold to get that Infinity Edge. But we're talking about the second item for Yasuo. Meanwhile, yeah, there you go, 500-ish gold. Ashe already has 2 items. Akali is looking for the 3rd one. Volley the same. Aatrox with the Depths Dance and going for the Mauve Malmortis, I believe. Oh, Aatrox talking about him. He has a lot of sustain. Beautiful arrow. He's going to pop the guard drinking.
Is it enough?
He's waiting for the reply of his team. The heal is way too big. He gets the knockup, but everybody on Nativz side is saying we need to back off, back off, back off. And Domino, don't lose anyone.
Oh my god, I mean, it's just super rough, right? Nativz doesn't really have that lockdown that they want, and that's what you need against Aatrox. Now he's able to heal so much, he gets help from Seraphine as well. It's just so rough for them. They need for sure more healing reduction. And Joppa obviously doesn't have the gold for it. He has to go for that Infinity Edge. He's gonna be able to pick that up now, but you just have to wonder, Ashram, isn't it a little bit too late for this one?
Gragas was applying the Grievous wounds, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
actually...
he still healed that much.
Oh my god, yeah, that is crazy actually. The fact that Spooder has just been... I mean, that's the thing, right? This once again, they picked the Aatrox into the No, actually, was it the other way around? It was Gangplank was picked blind in the first rotation. They do decide to counter with the Aatrox, and with the Volibear, they've just been able to punish him so much. Speaking of punishment, though, Zero, oh, he's feeling the moment too.
No, he's feeling to get away. He's getting a different feeling, I would say. But no, they also picked the Udyr versus the Volibear when they were the ones that banned away the Wukong. So I'm not saying this is on Snille, obviously, but they finally get a shutdown on zero. It's not a shutdown, but they finally at least slow down the game. But it's again the same thing. They focus so much, they bring a lot of utilities to one guy while they're taking the T2. The last T2 is down.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, once again, Domino is always ready to trade objective when Nativz feel like they have to go for some sort of pick. I think in this case, they're gonna be happy with getting this tier 2 on the top side as well, so not a bad trade for Nativz. But I just have to wonder, they're kind of buying time. Obviously for the third item coming in from Ezreal, he's gonna go for that Cyrildas, and Gangplank as well, probably going for that Infinity Edge. Once they get that, maybe that's where it can actually make a comeback running for this one, because let's face it, like they're behind. They're kind of looks like Domino's is in complete control of this game. We have seen time and time again these teams just battling it out, and one team that can really turn the tide of a game.
I was hoping you would bring that up. I was so hopeful that you would bring that up, because we're trying to build a story that Domino are taking complete control over the game. But that's almost 100 farm ahead for Relay as an Ezreal. Almost getting the fourth item. Yasuo now with the Infinity Edge and now getting some sort of defensive utility. Lundorf with a lot of critical strike as well. Those items may change the shape of history that we've been building up through this entire game. Yoppa now puts himself in danger. The wind wall is no longer there. And there we go, Lethal Temper way too strong on Ashe right now. She gets so much damage. Kraken Slayer and the Blood of the Ring King, that's way too much. This means they can go straight up for the Baron. 27 minutes in. M-Test, is that a world where Snille can fight this one?
I think they can for sure. I think Yoppa is for sure by far the most useless guy on the side of Nativz. I think they can try to buy time. Snille can go for the steal as well. And I mean, really can pop off in a fight like this. It's gonna be close to 4k on the Baron. They're gonna turn it.
They go in for the kill. They're gonna turn in, which means Snille is going to run inside of the Baron pit. He's trying to go for the back of the team, but he just doesn't have enough movement speed. And he used Ghost. Even with Ghost, it was way too slow.
Yeah, there's no spell that can save him from that one. They're gonna go start up the Nash again, though. I'm really wondering if it's gonna be the same thing. I mean, Snille doesn't have flash. They can really just play with the fact that they can't really enter. Oh, as I say that though, he's gonna dodge it, Zero. Completely having a really good movement on this Akali on this entire game.
The team is no longer confident. Look at this, they're separating. They no longer are confident that they can take this, so they need to kill Snille. They do it in the meantime. Yoppa revives only to die yet again, and the Baron is secured for Domino. The windows we were talking about, they're getting close right now, and it seems Domino will be able to secure this game unless a miracle appears from Nativz.
And suddenly we're back to like 7k only for Domino's. I mean, they're so not hesitant at all. They just go for the fight. They get one pick onto Yoppa and they decide, hey guys, we're gonna try to end the game right here. We get the Nasher as well. They juggle it really well. They know that Snille, he can't really jump into the pit without flash, right? So they just have to kill him before he gets to enter the pit. They get the Nash as well, the second one of the game. And I mean, now it just looks so... I mean, they're just playing so well, man. They're being really proactive. And Nativz, they just have to kind of watch as the inhibitor is getting taken down.
They take that down and they can go for the third Ocean Drake as well. 29 minutes in, they're going to buy their items, the necessary items. I think a Maw of Malmortius will appear on the inventory of Volibear. No. He has the Guardian Angel, Death Stance, Gore Drinker, on Aatrox. I was looking for the Maw of Malmortius. Volibear is going for the Rendu's Omen alongside with Deadman's Plate. That's so much armor. They are ignoring Gragas with the 4 kill. But he's a support, you know, you can only do so much. You're level 15 Volibear looking into the other side, and I'm like, the only reliable AP is Gragas at level 11. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's what you're saying, right? I mean, they just have so much AD damage on their team. Udyr being actually... I wouldn't even call him AD or AP in this game. He actually did 0 damage whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if Gragas has like a lot more damage than him, considering he has 4 kills and is going for that AP build, even though he's a support. And now, I just kind of want to see Domino's be able to kind of sync up their waves and go for this siege, kind of take it slow. As I'm saying that though, they're not taking it slow. They just know that they can just brute force this mid tower.
You have the volley bear. If push comes to shove, you can just ultimate that turret. That's exactly what they're gonna do! That's so much damage from Porcupine! The ultimate from Seraphine reaches no ears, which means this could be a perfect opportunity for Nativz as Zero goes down way too fast. And now it's on Relay to use Ezreal as fast as he can. Lundorf to stack those GP barrels to try and deal some damage. But Spooder is now the Ajax in the front line. He's the one dealing the charge, and Porcupine is falling it. And right now, it means the inhibitor is no longer there. Snail is trying to wave clear on the bottom side, but it seems like the minions themselves are more powerful than the Udyr, as the Everfrost is going to connect. But the sustain from Spooder is way too big. As Zoophobia gets isolated, flashes away. The two-shot barrage is not available, so Seraphine can sing another day. It is a close game, regardless of the lead that Domino were capable of building, but there's a lead nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, really just staying alive in this fight, dishing out as much damage as he can, being so ahead on this Ezreal in terms of farm, but on the other side, I mean, no one in his team can actually get a fight going. I mean, Clocks has to get some sort of magical engage happen, get a two-man stun onto Hellman and Zoophobia, make sure that they kind of one-tap them before the fight can even start. Other than that, I mean, if Spooder is like on the front line, this guy is unkillable, literally. Like, he has the Seraphine with the Moonstone, he has so much healing, he has the Garden Angel as well, and going for that Maw, as you mentioned. I mean, this guy is just... He's just having a field day on this Aatrox, man.
The game is getting tense as we are reaching the end of it. 31 minutes in. It means the timers are way too big to rely on them. If Lundorf dies at level 16 right now, it's going to be a huge timer. But that means on the other side, it's the same starting Porcupine. What are you doing? He flashes a well. Doesn't flash, it's just the ulti's away. As Spooder now joins the fight. Zero TPs in and instantly procs the Zonius. And for the second time, Zoophobia is singing, but no one is listening. No one is caring about the Seraphine. They lose a lot in the process, so I think they have to stall this one a little bit more.
Yeah, they do, and that's just really good for Nativz, right? There are two inhibs down. They're just really happy with farming it out. I mean, just looking at this, I'm getting kind of scared for Domino's. Even though they are super far ahead in terms of tempo, in terms of momentum, in terms of items. You look at the side of Lundorf, who has been quiet for this game, but he's now sitting 60 CS up. They also have really almost 100 CS up on this Ezreal, and this is what we're saying, right? You can't really count Nativz out just yet. Oh, I jinxed.
You can't do it. One good team fight is all it takes. It's going to take as Porcupine wants to go for the engage. Really is alone, and that's way too much damage. Look at the ultimate from Zoophobia. It's not even available. And meanwhile, Zero on the top side is just pushing in, pushing in, pushing in. Someone needs to reply, and I don't think they have the budget to do that call. As Zero is hidden in the shadows, Yop is looking to go, looking for the prow and the kill. I think he has the window because on the bot side, you stop one bleeding and another hole pops off. The boat is sinking and Domino are looking to bring their boat to shore as the perfect ultimate comes in. The wind wall is going to stop Seraphine from shining on this one, but I believe Relay is against the wall, against the fountain as everybody goes down, and against all odds, Domino are going to take Nativz down to climb the stairs of the standings.
Super crucial victory coming in from the side of Domino. I mean, we were praising them for their proactivity in the early game, and they didn't slow down in the mid game. They were really just having they had so much scaling, right? But not nearly enough. And Domino's Division 2, man, what is going on? Everyone is beating everyone. This is crazy.
Amazing game from Domino. Nativz tried something different and didn't quite work out. This is exactly why we're going to take a break, jump into the interviews to understand what happened, what could have been, and what just wasn't. So I'll see you in a minute. Let's also do a break.